Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another of the Booty Radio F1 team. We are here in Singapore with which is going to most likely be a disaster of a race weekend. You can see from the weather report, rain in qualifying, rain in the race around a very difficult circuit, which is the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Let's take a look and get some details. We do get a shredlet of dryness right at the beginning of qualifying, so if we can put in a decent enough lap, we might have an opportunity in the race, but it looks like it's going to be wet pretty much the entire race, and we know how we are in the rain compared to the AI. Hence why I'm saying could be a disaster of a day. So we soldier on through the world's rainiest season, round 18 of 24 coming up. I'm astounded at how much rain I've been getting in this season 2 of career mode. We turned in a couple of points in the last race, got ourselves up to 61 on the season. Was that Baku? We had a P9 finish. Mechanical issue for Joshua very early on in that race. I think it could have been a double points finish for the team. It did kind of resolve itself at the end, but after that point, he had already lost significant amounts of time. But if we can keep securing those P9s, P10s, we should be relatively safe from the cars behind. Pierre Gasly's one to keep an eye out for. 23 points, only 3 points back of Joshua. So let's hope we can score some points for Joshua. But let's get into qualifying and see where we can put ourselves on the grid, and maybe we just hang on during the race.
As night falls in Singapore, the track starts to warm up, and it'll be red hot by the time we find out who's on pole for tomorrow's race. Time to set the grid then. Welcome along to qualifying here in Singapore.
All right, so we've hustled our way out onto track. The rain has just started to fall during the outlap, so it's going to be crucial to try and get a lap in on these slicks because the track is only going to get worse as the session goes on, which means we also get to play the game of how wet is the track going to be when we arrive at any given corner. And it'll be continually getting wetter and wetter. But on the slicks, still, I think is our best opportunity for lap time. Come on, get out of the way. Don't park on the racing line like that. Yeah, it's not great. Already seeing the little splashes on the track, meaning that we were getting wet rather quickly, actually. The track is getting wet very fast. A lot faster than I thought it was going to, actually. Oh, this might ruin our lap. We're going to soldier on because we did have a mostly dry first sector to work with. But this final sector is going to be real tough. Especially the last corner, which is just treacherous. DRS disabled right as we cross the line of 37.7. So something on the board. I'm curious to see if the drivers that went out immediately on the intermediates, yeah, they've gone faster already. So we lost too much time in the later stages of that lap. Was the gamble. It was the gamble. We'll try on the inters, but I don't think we're going to go any faster than that. Track is only going to get wetter. All right, we're out on the intermediate tires just to kind of see. I don't expect we'll improve on our dry tire time because, well, we're sitting fourth. Nobody else has really gone. And the track is actually moving towards being full wet conditions. Obviously, the first sector is going to be pretty unrepresentative. But we'll see what we can do in the second and third sectors as far as making up that lost time. Yeah, track's way too wet, definitely. Already 3 seconds down, and we were still working on a dryish track at this stage. Oh, almost crashed into the wall there. Yeah, we'll abandon this lap and just bring it home. That'll be the end of our qualifying session. But P4 managed to rush it in and get that lap in.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry. We'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Championship leader down in 13th. Interesting. That'll be a tough day for him. Joshua P12 on the inters. Us and Yuki the only ones to set slick tire times, but I mean, we were a second quicker than everybody else in the first sector, and then we were 1 second and 1.8 seconds slower than the pole sitter in the second and third sectors when the rain came. But I will take a P4 start because, as we have been doing in rainy races, we're just going to need to park the bus. It's a little easier to overtake around Singapore, so I'll have to get some good exits out of turn 4 is the best overtaking opportunity, but we'll see what we can do.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. And here's our track, 4.94 kilometers long, and overtaking chances into the first corner, into turn 14 at the end of the Esplanade, and now into turn 16 in the newly reprofiled sector that we first ran on in 2023. Still though, it's punishing and tough on the brakes, and the heat and humidity will take an effect on our drivers. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Ayrton Senna lines up on pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Antonelli, Martins, Charles Leclerc and Behrman, Lawson, Sonoda, Piastri and Gabriel Bortoleto, Russell, Pierce, Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso, Albon, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll, Doohan, Ocon, Hulkenberg and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
All right, so much like qualifying, it looks like we are starting on dry tires for a brief amount of time, which 100% means we're putting on the medium tire because you never trust how long it will be rainy, but it's supposed to start raining like right away. So 47.7. Maybe we can get a position or two off the line. And then it's just all going to be about being on the right tire at the right time. It looks like a really short instance potentially of light rain, and then it goes to heavy. So maybe we gamble straight onto the wets. Although it may be just, so we're starting so far up, we could put ourselves in a good podium position and then just react to who's around us. Well, we'll find out. We'll see what everybody else does. First drop started falling on the formation lap. Nearly into the back of Sainz there. Had to really bail out of that. Gonna pinch Leclerc to the inside. Literally rubbing the backside of the Williams. Around the outside. Got that maneuver done. Now we're up into third place. pretty solid start overall. It's going to be all about the rain when it hits and how we manage it. We did see some drops at the end of the formation lap, but they seem to have disappeared. Weather report.
Watch the conditions. We think there's rain coming pretty soon. Be careful. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
We've already preset the tire selection to go to inters. So if we do have to make a sudden peel into the pit lane, they'll be ready to put inters on us. The real question is, how heavy is the rain going to be, and is it maybe going to be full wets that we need to worry about?
Joshua's coming in for his stop.
Why are so many cars coming in? Do we have a buggy situation where half the grid is experiencing rain and half isn't? Okay. Nope, there's the drops. Okay, do we gamble? Do we go to these tires right away? Teammate status.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.0 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. They're in 20th place.
Yeah, I think we're going to box this lap. I'll bet we see the cars in front come in. The track does... Okay, there it is. Now the track feels bad. So you say, like, track wasn't feeling too bad, but it suddenly felt bad. Slow pit lane, only 37 miles an hour, so you got to be very careful about speeding here. Okay, we're in. What's everybody else going on to? Looks like inters. Clean stop. Okay, it's going to phase us into the Mercedes. DRS disabled. Truly in rainy condition, wet conditions now. Make our brake balance adjustments and differential adjustments as needed. Usually you slide the brake balance a couple slots forward and open the differential a little bit just to prevent wheel spin. But now we play the defensive game. It looks like two cars might have actually stayed out on the dries. Or is that just one car? Maybe just one car has stayed out on the dries. Okay, so we are going to need some real good exits out of the final corner and out of turn 4 here. Because like I said, it's a lot easier to overtake around Singapore, so it's not going to be like Monaco or Hungary where I could truly just park up and give no opportunity for them to pass me. And now we just play the react to the leaders game. Man, getting out of that hairpin is some struggle. Ooh, that was a big lock up into there. Okay, good run out of the final corner means we can save some battery. Maybe we're a little too far forward on the brake balance because we are getting quite a bit of front locking still. Let's roll it back to 56 and kind of feel it out. Weather report. Weather report.
Okay, so heavy rainfall here to stay for a while. Doesn't look like it's moving on anytime soon. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Still on heavy rainfall, which means we could be going to full wets. I'm going to preset the tire change to wets. If I see the drivers in front of us come in for the wets, that's what we'll do, because at least thanks to my slowness in the rain, they will get to the pit lane much ahead of us. Weather report.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment.
Track is definitely a lot wetter than it was a lap ago. And if the heavy rain's staying with us, I don't see any reason to stay out on the inters when we can get the wets. See what the cars in front of us do. In the pit lane, so. For the wet tires. Seems to be the consensus that the wet tires are the maneuver. Okay.
And that's Joshua in the pits. Joshua in the pits now.
Ooh, Oscar. He had a real good lap on the wets to undercut. Try and fight him cleanly, leave him space when he deserves it. Track is so wet right now, though. Oh my god, this is torture. Yeah, call it 3% per lap. I think, yeah, there's going to be another stop.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
Weather report.
The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. Full wet seem like the best tyre for now. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
Safe run. Well, it does take the question mark out of whether we pit under VSC or not. The answer is no, because there is no VSC still left. A full safety car would have been nice there. Because I think that would have triggered a round of pit stops. For fresh tires, then we'd probably have no problem getting to the end in that case. Because what, we've got... What's 17 minus 31? 15 and 15 is 30, so plus 2 plus... Or minus 2 plus 1, so 16 laps to go? That's not right. Yeah, 16 laps to go. Mm. 15 times 4 is 45. Oh, plus another 4. So 50 some odd. Yeah, we'd be deep into the 70s as far as tire wear goes. Especially with the wheel spin we're getting out of some of these corners. Okay, we're in for another set of wets. Need a good stop, guys. Need the good stop.
Joshua's coming in for his stop.
Bad stop, bad stop. No! Oh, and we're getting held so far. No, come on! The worst possible time to have a stop that bad. No, yellow flag's not a safety car now, please. I think we're going to end up like barely in the points after this. Keep pushing, come on. Maybe we can salvage something from somebody in the pit lane. The slow stop and then the extra insult to injury of having to be held while everybody else went past me. Here we are getting ready to start the final lap of the race. Tires are definitely wearing to a point that are not fun, so definitely wouldn't have been able to make that other set last as long. That also means that we are at a traction disadvantage to one Mr. Max Verstappen behind us. Do need to defend for one more lap here. But ultimately, as I'm working this final lap and paying attention to where Max is, turned into a bit of a disappointing Sunday overall. You know, obviously, if you showed me the weather report and said you might score a point this week, I probably would have said, okay, fair enough. Because it looked like rainy qualifying, rainy race, would have expected to qualify somewhere near the bottom and then just go nowhere in the race. But considering we started the race in fourth, jumped to third pretty quickly, and we're running, you know, in contention for a podium. You know, I was expecting podium was on the cards, maybe top 5 at worst in race pace. Maybe I make a mistake and one or two cars get through. But the bad stop absolutely hurt. It hurt a lot on this one. Because not only was it the bad stop, but then we got held and it let several other cars past us. We probably were going to get undercut by Piastri in the pit stop window. That I can probably say fine. But that still would have put us in position for a top 5 finish. To only score a single point after that, like Hungary, I made the mistake on the gamble. I'll own that. It hurts a lot more when there's nothing else I could really do.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
All in all, a bit disappointing to only score a 10th place finish here, but I mean, it's just been the rainiest of seasons, so we live with it.
And this is a win that will go down very, very well throughout the world. Ayrton Senna, victory today.
And they led every single lap of the race. It was a light to flag victory, and that is total dominance.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Norris recovered decently as a championship leader, get himself from 13th to 4th. Alonso jumped ahead of us, but yep. Gave up some points to Carlos Sainz, and Alonso is closing in now on, I think that's going to put him 1 point behind Joshua, who had a pretty disappointing day. Or no, sorry, he's now, Alonso's catching. I always keep thinking it's Alonso behind Pierce. It's Gasly, so still 6 points separating them. Still an 83-point gap for Norris out front, and the driver championship. Decent chunk taken out by Senna there. 32 points as Antonelli was able to secure a pretty solid P2 finish. But it's really looking like, you know, we're kind of locked in for 9th, 10th in the drivers. Well, 9th in the drivers, maybe 10th for Josh, and then 5th in the constructors. But we're getting to the dwindling stages of Season 2. Yeah, nothing in the pipeline, of course, because why would we? Let's actually check. Do we get the message for cash reserves? That's fine. Alonso retiring. We know that one. A point. Just one. Is there going to be a no reset kind of off season? Maybe. We've slipped behind Williams in the performance charts. What do we need to get the non-brake related research? Facility improvements. Okay. Don't care about you. Yeah, I think it's just going to be facility improvements. And we have just started unlocking that set. I think we can afford one more set of improvements. Let's get the powertrain and where's my aerodynamics breakthrough? Aero breakthrough. Let's get those so we can get at least a few more research projects going. Really max out the tracks that we've got for those. I'm not too worried about extra chassis at the moment, but we need to be making some ground when it comes to the other teams and not fall behind them. So, yeah, let's raise the recruitment and aero. Anything useful down here? Well, at the moment, Yeah, I don't think it's actually worth doing anything in engineering this week. Focus, as always. Let's increase the driver contracts because we want to see what's going on with those. We don't need title sponsor loyalty. We just need secondary sponsors and fan outreach. Okay, our last chance to negotiate with Franco. Let's see what he's asking. Vehicle performance 4th. I mean, he's a good save in money. I don't know. I can't guarantee vehicle performance 4th. Okay. Let's see what is left is what is realistic for our remaining 2 drivers. Or Joshua and Franco, as far as where are you at? Drivers, there it is. Okay. So Joshua, he's also looking for performance 4th. 11.9 million. That's not the button I want. Where's my number 2? Oh, that's just more details of that. Let's check the driver mark. So he's an 85 overall. Franco is a 79. It's a pretty big drop off. We got 79 pace, 88. Yeah. I think it might be worth the spending of keeping Joshua on board. I don't see a reason to mix up the driver lineup. He's been quite good. What do we got on? Yeah, let's just send him this current contract.
Okay, set. Now we wait.
And we see if we sign him. Good money in. I think it's time to let old Franco go. I'm really concerned that we haven't gotten the changes to what's its So what I'm looking for. Regulations. Haven't gotten the regulations. Creeping up on some accolades. Definitely getting the passive sponsor income for sure. 44 top 10 finishes in 77 race finishes. It's not bad. Not terrible. 1 podium for the team, 1 fast lap, no wins, 1 pole. 29 of top 10 qualifying, so. Results, that's what I'm looking for. Because how many races do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 more races left to go in this one. So yeah. We will just have to see how it develops in the final stages of the season here. I want to thank you all for joining me as usual. And hopefully they send us the news of regulation developments because we're going to need it to be competitive next season. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.